Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
We've all been there, haven't we? Staring at a website, maybe an app, and just thinking, what am I supposed to do here?
Oh, absolutely. Total confusion. The source material even mentions things like booking train tickets on IRCTC experiences that can be incredibly frustrating.
Exactly. So today, we're diving into Steve Krug's classic book, Don't Make Me Think. We're pulling out the key ideas.
Yeah, the core principles for making digital stuff actually, usable.
Think of this as a kind of shortcut, getting straight to the heart of why some websites just work and others, while others are a nightmare.
It's really not about just making things look pretty, is it?
Not at all. Though aesthetics matter, usability is fundamentally about function. Can people do what they need to do easily?
That's the goal. Distill Krug's wisdom into stuff you can actually spot and use.
Okay, so let's start with the big one, the title itself. Don't make users guess. Seems simple, but
But it's profound, really. When you land somewhere online, you shouldn't need a manual. It should be, well, obvious.
yeah, you shouldn't have to pause and puzzle it out. What does this button do?
Exactly. Good design sort of anticipates what you need. Every button, every link, its purpose should be clear. It's about intuitive function, not just looks.
So people can focus on their task, not on figuring out the tool itself.
Right. Less thinking about the interface, more doing the thing you came to do.
Which brings us to the next point, which I find fascinating. Design for lazy readers.
Huh. Yeah. It sounds a bit harsh, maybe.
Well, it's not saying users are lazy, but it reflects how we behave online, right? We skim, we scan.
We definitely do. We're usually looking for something specific, trying to get the gist quickly. We don't read every single word like it's a novel.
So how do you design for that scanning behavior?
Well, Krug talks a lot about scannability. Things
Yeah.
like using short paragraphs.
Like we're doing now, hopefully.
Exactly. Bullet points, bold headings to break things up.
Clear visual hierarchy, so your eye knows where to go.
Mm-hmm. Guides the user. It respects their time and helps them grab the info they need without getting bogged down in dense text.
It's true, you just sort of absorb the key bits, and that links nicely to consistency, doesn't it? Knowing where to look.
It does. Which leads straight into the next principle. Follow conventions.
Right. Sometimes designers want to be super creative, reinvent the wheel.
But often, familiarity is actually your friend in UI design.
Yeah.
People bring expectations based on other sites they've used.
Think about where you expect to find things, like the main navigation.
Usually top or maybe left side, right?
Yeah. Or the company logo linking back home. It's just standard.
And using those established patterns, like making visited links change color, having buttons look like buttons, it means users don't have to learn your specific site from scratch.
They can rely on what they already know. It feels intuitive because it's familiar.
Precisely. Unless there's a very, very good reason to break a convention, sticking with it usually makes things much easier for the user. Lowers the learning curve.
Okay, so if we're following conventions and making things scannable, that helps with the next idea. Minimize cognitive load.
Yeah, that sounds a bit technical, but the idea is simple. Every decision, every click, every moment of uncertainty adds a little bit of mental effort for the user.
Like friction.
Exactly like friction. Think of it as mental bandwidth. If you make users think too hard about how to do something, they run out of that bandwidth.
And then they get frustrated.
Or they just leave, they give up.
Hmm.
High cognitive load is a major reason people abandon websites or apps.
So practically, how do we reduce that load?
Make actions obvious, clear labels are key, make the main call to action stand out.
Minimize clicks, maybe? Shorten the journey.
Definitely. Simplify. Cut out unnecessary steps. Ask fewer questions. The less thinking required to get from A to B, the better the experience.
Makes sense. Now, all these principles are great, but how do you actually know if your design is working? If it's really intuitive?
Well, that's where the fifth point is crucial. Test early and test often.
Not just one big test at the end.
No, Krug argues strongly against that. He advocates for small, regular usability tests throughout the design process.
Just watching a few people try to use it.
Yeah, even watching 3 or 4 people can be incredibly revealing. You see where they hesitate, where they get confused, where they click the wrong thing. Things you, as the designer, would just never spot because you know how it's supposed to work.
And doing it often means you catch problems early.
Right. When they're smaller and easier to fix, it's not about finding every problem, it's about finding the most critical ones regularly and fixing them. It's an iterative process.
Building that feedback loop right into development.
Exactly. It helps ensure you don't end up launching something that's fundamentally difficult to use.
Okay, last principle, but definitely not least. Accessibility is non-negotiable.
Absolutely critical. This isn't just a nice to have or an add-on. It's fundamental to good design.
And it benefits everyone, right? Not just users with disabilities.
That's a key point. Designing accessibly often leads to clearer, simpler designs that are better for all users.
What are some examples the source mentions?
Things like adding alt text to images so screen readers can describe them,
Okay.
ensuring good color contrast between text and background so it's readable for people with low vision, and frankly, readable for everyone in different lighting conditions.
Using fonts that are easy to read, making sure font sizes aren't tiny.
Mm-hmm. And making sure the site can be navigated using just a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't edge cases. They are essential for making products inclusive and truly effective.
It's just part of creating a quality product for the widest possible audience.
It really is. Good design is accessible design.
Okay, so let's quickly recap. We've gone through Krug's core ideas from don't make me think, don't make users guess, designed for scanning, not deep reading.
Follow conventions, don't reinvent the wheel unnecessarily. Minimize that cognitive load, make things easy.
Test early, test often, keep checking with real users.
And finally, build accessibility in from the start. It's non-negotiable.
Putting all that together is how you get digital products that feel effortless, that don't make you want to throw your computer out the window.
Right. And that leads to a final thought for you listening. Think about the last app or website you used, maybe even just today.
Was it easy? Was it frustrating?
And now, thinking about these principles like clarity, conventions, scannability, can you maybe pinpoint why it felt that way?
Yeah, start looking at the digital world through this usability lens. You might be surprised what you notice.